Hey, hey now. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes, give people time to get on, and then I will get started. Hope everyone is doing well this afternoon, this evening, if you're on the East Coast. Thank you for joining. Don't forget when you join, drop your name and say hello in the chat so I can know who's here. Where I am not going to be before you guys long this afternoon. Happy Friday Eve is what I wanted to say. I'm sure many are anticipating the weekend. All right. I am going to go ahead and get started. Of course, if you catch the replay, make sure you drop your name and where you are from in the chat so I can know and I can shout you out. All right. So today we are talking about confidence. And it's so many things I want to say about confidence. First, I have to say, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, we are excited. As a Black woman, I told some of my friends that I had to pull over. I was driving when I found out that she had been confirmed, and I just started screaming her name. And I'm sure the people who were next to me thought something was wrong with me, but I pulled over and a wave of emotion came over me because I thought back to how she endured what they did to her. And that's the easiest way I can say it. She endured the questioning. She endured the questioning of her ability, of her talents, of her skill, of her track record of being an awesome judge, just the humiliation that came with how they attacked her. And she persevered. She maintained her integrity. She kept her posture. She kept her composure. And we are here today to witness history made. And I am so proud and so excited and so ready to walk in her shadow, because literally because of her we can. She was the epitome of confidence today. And so I was super excited about doing this broadcast after I heard her confirmation, and just excited to share with you guys a few tidbits. I'm not going to be on here long, but a few tidbits about confidence. And of course, I'm specifically targeting teachers this time. Man, it's almost the end of the school year, and this has been a rough year. If you are not in education, I'm sure you've seen memes, you've seen TikToks, you've seen YouTube videos, you've seen Facebook posts, and all these different things about how teachers or educators are dealing with this school year. And I'll speak for me. Going in this year, I thought it was going to be a little bit easier than last year because we had learned some navigation tools dealing with COVID and all those different things. But man, I wasn't ready for everything that was going to come with this year. And it wasn't just dealing with COVID that made it tough, but it was all the other things that came along with it. And so like I said, I'll just speak for me. It was rough. This year shook me a little bit, and I'll be honest. And so My phrase is, if there's one, there's two. So I know if I was feeling this way, there's some other people who were feeling the same way that I felt. And especially the new teachers who this was their first year, they got hit with a lot. The normal first year teacher experience, on top of all of the different expectations that educators were having to experience this year. And so I felt compelled to write a book for new teachers, but anybody can pick it up that's in education. Confidence in the Classroom. And y'all know, as a coach, that is part of what I do. I deal with confidence building and confidence development. And so as a teacher, you have to have confidence, period. Whether you're in the classroom, outside the classroom, anybody who's a teacher, you have to have a level of confidence. And so I penned that book, and I am excited it is here. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I want to talk about confidence as a whole, just a little bit, and then I'll separate into the teachers. And so going back to Justice Brown Jackson and how she was in the midst of being questioned about who she was and what she could do and why she should be the next Supreme Court justice. And in the midst of a body that had already confirmed her twice, I believe, had already confirmed her twice. So they knew what they were dealing with. They knew her skills. They knew her ability. They knew the power that she possessed, and they were still there questioning if she should be in this position. And so thinking back on her today, that made me think about, of course, some personal moments where I've had my confidence shaken because people were questioning my ability, questioning my talent and skill, even after it's been proven multiple times. So the first thing I want to talk about is confidence when others question your talent, skill, and abilities. What do you do? How do you deal with that? How do you process someone less qualified or someone who doesn't have the authority to question you about what you're able to do and what you're capable of doing in the capacity that you're in? That is something that can be difficult, but what do you do? Just like, and I'm gonna be using Justice Brown Jackson a lot this afternoon because she is just the epitome today, and she is the example. So I'm going to use her a lot. When these men and women were questioning her and were coming for her, even to the point where she was moved, you could see the tears, and she didn't release them until someone spoke encouragement to her. But she was moved to tears when they questioned her. She maintained a sense of, I know who I am. I know what I've done. I know what I can do. I know where I've been. I know who I've impacted. And I know the skills and talents that I possess. That is the mindset that you have to have when your confidence is tested, when your confidence is challenged, when your confidence is shaken at the core by whoever, by whomever, in whatever capacity. When it's shaken, you have to plant your feet. Even if I'm talking about, sometimes your confidence will be shaken so that you might have a moment of an inkling of a second of an inch of doubt about who you are because of what their words did. Their words came at you like arrows, and they pierced you, and like knives that cut you. And you have a moment where you're taken aback, or you're knocked off your feet, or the wind is knocked out of you. You have to shake it off and say, wait a minute. Oh, what? I know what I've done. I know who I am, and I know what I can do and what I will do. You have to remind yourself when others question you, you have to be firm. You have to be steadfast. The Bible says you have to set your face like a flint. That means you are focused, you are straight, and you are not going to be moved. Does it affect you? Absolutely. Does it hurt you? It can, but it does not define you. That moment that someone has the question and disturbs your confidence does not define you. Next point. Confidence when you're entering into a new territory. And this is for anybody, you're going into a new stage of life. You are going into a new position. You're going to a new company, a new job. You are transitioning from working for somebody to working for yourself. You are entering a new organization. Whatever that new territory is for you, you have to remain sure in your confidence. You do not allow any atmosphere to change who you are. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer. So when you go into that atmosphere, it becomes whatever you make. If you're a bubbly person by nature, you don't conform to a dry atmosphere. They become bubbly because you are. Or at least they'll know, okay, they're not like us. Okay, so maybe I need to adjust a little bit. You set the tone wherever you go, whatever territory you're going in. If it's new, I'm talking about if it's a brand new building, brand new, a whole new atmosphere. You have to be confident enough in who you are and what you bring to the table. If you're creating your own table, you really have to be confident in who you are, what you can do, and what you can transform, because that is what confidence does. Confidence says, okay, I see this building, but I see a business. I see this destroyed restaurant. It was once a booming spot. Now it's run down, it's raggedy, but I see a massive, immaculate whatever. That is what your confidence does. Your confidence has the power to transform you and to transform anybody that you come in contact with. That is what your confidence does. Next, confidence when nobody, and y'all forget I'm going back and forth, I'm reading my notes so I can stay on task. Confidence when nobody sees your dream but you. I have been watching The Food That Built America. And yes, this show is like 3-4 years old, but it's new to me. And yeah, Milton Hershey. I love chocolate. I'm a chocolate person. So, hey, I was ready to hear his story. This man had a vision and he had to help others see his vision. He had a whole city, a whole town planned for his company. He knew he wanted the company. He knew what he wanted the company to sell. He knew he wanted his workers to be able to have access to work. He didn't want them to have to figure out how they were going to get to work. He knew that if he had happy workers, his productivity would be through the roof. Because when you go to work and you're happy, you're willing to work. You're willing to, do what's necessary to get the job done. So he knew all of these things about people and he saw all of these things. But those around him could not understand what he was explaining to them because it had not been done. He had a dream. And initially, nobody believed in that dream. When he took his assistant to the land where he wanted the dream, his assistant was like, what are you going to do with all this country? What? Why are we here in the country? And he told him what it was. And his assistant looked at him like, what you mean? But he had that dream and he was confident in his dream. He built the dream before he even had a product to sell. That is writing the vision and making it plain. That is confidence in your dream when nobody sees it but you. He had to help the architects see what it is that he envisioned. He had to help the scientists who were helping him develop the product see what it is that he envisioned. He had confidence, and that confidence pushed everybody around him. That is what you do. When you have something deep inside of you, when you have something that you are going after and you are determined, your confidence will move those around you. Colin Kaepernick, quarterback, world famous. That's not what he was doing. He was playing baseball in high school, had scholarships out the wazoo, about to get paid. Baseball. But in his heart, in his mind, he dreamed of being an NFL quarterback. Even parents called him crazy. His coaches called him crazy. His friend was like, "You stupid for leaving this money on the table. What are you doing? Baseball is guaranteed." And he was excellent at baseball, good at it. But that was not his dream. His dream was to play in the NFL and to be a quarterback. That was his dream. He had to help others see his dream. He was confident enough in his ability to wow whoever was naysaying. That is what you have to do. When you have naysayers, you have to be able to stand against them. And some of y'all out there right now got dreams, you got hopes, you got visions, you got all these different things. And some of y'all are afraid to share because of who you're around. That's an issue. That's a whole different video. But you're afraid to share because of who you're around, or you're afraid to share because you don't have all the details yet. And you know questions are going to come. Well, how are you going to do this? And when are you going to do that? And what's your time frame? What's your goal? And all the questions are coming. You don't have that yet. When Milton Hershey told them about his vision, he didn't have all the details. That's why he brought in experts, so they could help him with the details. You might not have all the details, and that's okay. Figure out who can help you with the details, but don't be afraid to share with those that are around you that will help push you to bring that dream and that vision to pass. Okay. So the 3 points. I told y'all I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to encourage y'all. I don't know. I always feel people sometimes, and a lot of people are dealing with confidence or the lack thereof, or being shaken from their confidence. And so I just wanted to drop in and give you guys a few tidbits to help push you along the way, push you through. So let's recap. Number 1, you have to maintain your confidence when others question your talent, skills, and abilities. And I really do not like using this word, but it is a reality. There are some people who really, 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 really do hate on you for whatever reason. But you can't focus on that. You cannot get lost in that. That is not what a confident person does. A confident person does not have time to worry. As my former first lady, Susan Woods Rogers, said, they are gnats and flies. You don't have time to deal with that, because you are building, you are growing, you are transforming, you are transcending barriers. You don't have time to deal with the haters or deal with anything that is going to question or make you question or shake your confidence. Number 2, confidence when you're entering a new territory. You have to be steadfast. You have to stand still. You have to plant your feet. You have to be sure of who you are. You have to be sure of who you are. You are the thermostat. You set the temperature. You are not the thermometer. You go in and you affect change in the atmosphere in whatever capacity that is. You have the power and the ability to do that. And then 3rd, confidence when nobody sees your dream but you. You have to be sure of your dream. Does that mean that you won't have any tweaks or any adjustments? No, that's not what that means. That means that you know the overall gist of what it is that you want to accomplish, what you feel like you've been called to do, what you feel like your purpose is. And you're going to go in and do that. Of course, you're going to make adjustments. Any person who's out there is an entrepreneur, you know that you go in with this business model, you go in with this business plan, you go in with these business ideas, and 9 times out of 10, something's going to change. Something's going to change, and it might not be something that you necessarily want, but it can be for the best. Watching this show, I'm telling you, has changed my life. I'm a visual learner, so being able to see what some of these iconic businesses, food businesses did, and what the bravery and the courage that they had going forth, the majority of them produced products that had never been heard of in America at that time. Pizza Hut and Domino's, oh my God. The owners didn't even know what pizza was. But they was like, hey, this might be something we could work. And they adjusted and they adapted and they made it work. And they're billion-dollar businesses today because they were confident in their dream. Confident. Now, an example of losing confidence in your dream. Domino's was started by two brothers. And they bumped heads somewhere along the way. And one of the brothers did not have confidence in what the other brother was saying. He didn't believe in the dream anymore. He was like, you know what? I'm out, and walked away. And then because he lost his confidence, he sold all of his stake in the company to his brother for a Volkswagen. And so to this day, I don't know if the brother ever gave him money or whatever. He walked away from billions because he lost his confidence. And it's not about the money, but it's about him losing the confidence in his dream. This was their dream together. You cannot allow anybody to shake you to the point where you lose confidence in yourself and in your dream. Ever. Point blank and the period. So that is my 2 cents on this afternoon about confidence. I want to encourage y'all. I want to just motivate you this evening to be confident. Confidence it's a word that's being tossed around, and it's more than a notion. You have to daily build that confidence. You have to daily work on that confidence. You have to make sure that you are intentional about your confidence in whatever capacity you are operating in. And I'm going to take this back to my educators. A personal story. Last week, and I don't think I haven't made this announcement public, but last week was my last day in the classroom. Last Thursday was my last day in the classroom. And it was a number of reasons. The main thing was I allowed myself to conform, and I allowed my confidence to be shaken. And once I came to the realization that I was watering down who I am as a teacher, who I am as an educator as a whole, who I am as a person, it was some decisions that had to be made, and I did. And it was a heavy decision because I love my students. It's a heavy decision, but nonetheless, it was a decision that had to be made. And I don't regret it at all because I know my confidence was shaken. I mean, shaken to the core. Oh my goodness, those who are close to me knew the struggle. They knew everything that I was dealing with. And so I was like, you know what? Nobody needs to feel this way. So I am on a mission to build, to encourage, to strengthen, to renew, to help people maximize in areas that they are not strong in. I'm on a mission. And so with that being said, I'm going to close out talking about my book. Yes, baby. This book, oh Lord, it is definitely a labor of love. Can y'all see it? All right. Confidence in the Classroom. It is available on Amazon, and it's for new teachers, but it's for any teacher who's had their confidence shaken and you need to reset, regroup. This is it. Now, I will say this is not your typical pedagogical textbook type professional development regular book. Okay. I've included real stories and just a real perspective about building confidence in the classroom, because it's not cookie cutter. The formal education is necessary. Absolutely. Absolutely. The professional development is necessary. Absolutely. But sometimes you don't get concepts until you hear someone share their story with the concept applied. And so that is what I do in this book. And so, guys, go on out to Amazon and get your copy today. I'm going to read a couple of the chapter names, and then I'm going to let y'all go. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, if you're here, drop your name in the chat so I can see who is here and I can say hello and shout you out. So, Confidence in the Classroom. Guys, this book, and I'm going to read from here because I will mess it up. Confidence in the Classroom is not a cure for bad classroom management. This book is an empowerment tool designed to equip teachers who are building their classroom arsenal. This is not your typical pedagogical text and reference book. This is a real life, real scenario, reality check of the truth of establishing confidence in the classroom. The first step toward classroom management is changing your mindset. Changing your mindset to embrace a system that is in constant review requires determination, persistence, and confidence. So, those of you out there, you might not be an educator, but you know some educators, go on out there and get this book and stop playing so into the teachers, y'all. Listen, teachers need, if you know a teacher, just send them a thank you. Send them a shout out. Send them a we love you. Teachers need, educators, I won't just say teachers, administrators, everybody involved in education needs encouragement right now. So go ahead and send that shout out to them. Chapters real quick. Boldness. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. Don't be a punk. Rapport with these kids. Firm but fair, really. Patience is definitely a virtue. Balance is not a myth. Personal affirmations, and then humility, a grounded learner. Now, these are all, y'all, it's a quick read, but it is a deep read. This is the workbook. So the workbook has different pages. I think my light is blocking it, but it has different pages. You can create a confidence plan. It makes you think. It makes you dig deep. So shout out to all of the teachers out there. Shout out to all of the new teachers. Anybody who's been teaching 3 years or less. Okay. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. I wanted to shout out the teachers, educators. I wanted to encourage those who are struggling in confidence. You guys, make sure that you are working and being intentional on building your confidence. Oh, last thing. Along with the book, I am hosting a Confidence in the Classroom masterclass in June 15th through the 16th. And registration is open for that masterclass. Early registration ends May 1st. It is $65 per person. Late registration begins May 2nd. So I'm encouraging you, go ahead and register now so you don't have to pay those late fees, because I want to see you. I really do. And it won't just be me. I'm reaching out to some experts in the field so they can sow into teachers. They can pour into you. They can talk with you. They can strategize with you. You can collaborate with other teachers and come up with some plans that are going to be effective and going to be essential and going to be helpful for you in the classroom. All right, Sunday, I have another live, and this one is for everybody. She created her own. Let's get it. Shout out to Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, y'all. Supreme Court Justice. She created her own, and she stood fast, and she stood tall, and we are celebrating her today. I will see you guys on Sunday. Until then, have a great, great, great afternoon.